I'm Merely Caruso. It's Tuesday, October 28th. Today,
we're pulling our hair out trying to figure out what action is needed to get this to finally stop.
A Winnipeg bus driver is hospitalized after an assault. How the union says drivers can be better protected. Also today, waiting for news.
Just pray for them and make sure that we try to do as best we can to keep everybody safe.
Winnipeg's Jamaican community watches as one of the biggest storms ever recorded makes landfall. Plus, natural design.
It's unbelievable. It's really exciting, and we're just thrilled.
Why a new Winnipeg building is getting international attention. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. A Winnipeg bus driver was sent to hospital after being assaulted on the job yesterday. Police allege the suspect was a passenger who's still at large. Joining me now live with the latest is CTV's Taylor Brock. Taylor, what exactly happened here?
Well, police are being pretty tight-lipped on the specifics, Marilee. The union representing the bus driver says a weapon was involved, but police won't confirm. Officers were called to East Kildonan shortly after 2 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. They were responding to an assault near Gateway and Springfield roads. Police say a bus driver was brought to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. They allege it was a passenger who assaulted the driver. No one was arrested at the scene, and police are now looking for the suspect. The Major Crimes Unit is now investigating. Chris Scott, the head of the Amalgamated Transit Union, visited the driver today and says he's physically okay, but it'll be a long time before he's back behind the wheel of a bus.
It certainly appears that he's still yet to fully process what has happened. He was treated for injuries in the hospital. He's recovering currently at home, and we don't anticipate him to be returning to work in the short term.
This is just the latest in an alarming trend of transit safety incidents. According to the union, incidents on buses have more than doubled in the last 5 years, from 86 in 2020 to more than 220 so far this year. The union says it's time for the city to retrofit its fleet with full barriers to protect drivers.
We need to expedite this. Only a few months ago, there was an operator in Calgary that was coerced out of his bus and brutally assaulted. And within 2 weeks, the city of Calgary provided the necessary funds to retrofit the entire fleet with full barriers. And I'm asking the city and the province to commit to this line of action, give the department the funding required to ensure that their own employees are safe at work.
Now, those numbers we discussed may be high, but the union head is optimistic. Scott says the city is making progress on increasing bus safety, including community safety officers on buses and fare enforcement officers.
Taylor, buses are already equipped with security cameras. Was this assault caught on video? Is there an image of the suspect who's still at large?
Well, nothing's been released to the public yet, Marilee. A police spokesperson says more information on the incident will come out tomorrow.
All right, thanks for this, Taylor. Winnipeg's Jamaican community is waiting for any news from home as Hurricane Melissa made landfall on the island nation today. Melissa has now been downgraded from a Category 5 to a Category 4. Still one of the strongest storms since record-keeping began 174 years ago. The storm was expected to bring up to 100 centimeters of rain and up to 4 meters of storm surge. The Red Cross says the storm could impact 1.5 million people in Jamaica alone. That's worrisome for families here in Winnipeg who have loved ones living there.
We've been trying to encourage our family to be as safe as possible, and I think sometimes that's the hardest part, especially for our older family that are out there. We're in the country, so we're not in the city, but the most we can do is give them encouragement and tell them to be safe and do as much as they can to hunker down for the eye of it.
CTV's Joseph Bernacki spoke with people in Winnipeg's Jamaican community today about the impact this hurricane is having here. Watch for his story and the latest on Melissa's path later tonight on CTV News at 6. The federal government is giving Manitoba's Justice Minister credit for some important pieces of Ottawa's new bail reform bill.
With without his advocacy on behalf of some of the voices that you see represented at the microphone today, I very much doubt that this measure would have made its way into the legislation.
As part of the Liberal government's bill reform legislation, people who target first responders will see stiffer penalties. It's part of a new set of aggravating factors that will also be applied to offenders involved in organized retail theft. When the bill is passed, the accused will have a reverse onus where they have to demonstrate they don't pose a public safety risk.
The combined impact of these two reforms on first responders and on high-volume offenders is going to improve the quality of life in our communities right across the country. And I would hope actually free up the justice system and those on the front line so we can ensure that paramedics can be focused on saving lives, that firefighters can be focused on fighting fires.
Critics have warned this bill could increase the amount of people in jail at any time when many jurisdictions, including Manitoba, are dealing with overcrowding already. Justice Minister Matt Wiebe says there is capacity in the system to accommodate the numbers we currently have and is committed to investing more into the system going forward. Your utility bills could soon be going up. The city is moving to hike sewer and water rates, but the mayor says the increase is much less than the nearly 30% rate hike the city had projected earlier this year. It's needed to cover the cost of revamping the North End Water Pollution Control Center. The city previously projected utility bills could increase by 28.5% in 2026 and 17.3% in 2027. But the hikes were rejected by council. Now, the city has put forward a new plan with substantially lower increases, 2.8% in 2026 and 4.2% in 2027. For an average household of 4, this will add an extra $44 to a bill next year and another $68 to the year after. Mayor Scott Gillingham is banking on the provincial and federal governments to come up with almost $1 billion in funding for the water treatment plant.
We've been in very good negotiations with the province of Manitoba and the federal government for several months now on the third and final phase of the project. And we're confident that both levels of government will be at the table with their share of funding, and we look forward to sharing more news about that in the months ahead.
The whole plan still needs council approval, but if it passes, the rate changes will take effect January 1st. Manitoba's Remembrance Day Poppy campaign begins this week.
The first poppy.
Thank you, and it's an honor to receive it.
Lieutenant Governor Anita Neville today received the first poppy of the annual Legion campaign. Making the presentation was the president of the Manitoba Northwest Ontario Legion Command. The poppies honor the more than 117,000 Canadians who died in the service of their country throughout the world.
Wear the poppy with pride. Honor those who have come before. Remember the contributions that many have made, and many have made the ultimate contribution, and hope that our young people don't have to make the same sacrifices.
Legion branches distribute poppies in return for donations. The funds go to improving the lives of people in the communities where the money is raised. The Legion's poppy campaign officially begins on Friday. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. And I am so happy to see that rain has finally stopped falling.
It just kept coming and coming on down, depending on where you were. So Marilee, coming up a little later on in the newscast, I'm going to show you which parts of southern Manitoba were soaked and which parts of the south were sprinkled, and where Winnipeg fell in the mix, sort of in between the two. But for now, you can see it's quite dry, but that rain did go somewhere. I'll show you where as well, and a look ahead to your updated Halloween forecast and a look ahead to the weekend. All that to come. Let's take a look right now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, it's cloudy and 9 degrees. Winds from the northwest at 14 kilometers an hour. The pressure's rising and the humidity is 70%. Out in traffic, it is Tuesday afternoon. A live look down onto Donald Street. Very light traffic for inbound, much heavier for folks heading off the Midtown Bridge, making that run up to Confusion Corner.
Thanks, Colleen. A new visitor center at Fort White Alive is getting some international attention. We'll show you why in just a moment. Plus, what some U of M Bisons players found after returning from an away game, and why one person wants security increased at the university.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
2 Canadian companies will partner with the U.S. to build nuclear reactors. Morala Fernandez has more in the Market Watch.
Cameco mines uranium, and with Brookfield Asset Management, it will work with Washington to build the large reactors. The U.S. will help arrange $80 billion worth of financing and handle approvals. The AI build-out demands an enormous amount of energy. The U.S., like Canada and others, is looking for ways to feed that demand. Cameco shares spiked more than 25% today on news of the agreement. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.75. West Texas Intermediate crude is down more than $1 to 60.15. Western Canadian Select is down slightly to 48.60. And the TSX gained 143 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morala Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
University of Manitoba football players returned from an away game this weekend to find their vehicles vandalized. Check this out. This is what they found at 3:30 a.m. Sunday morning after the team came back from a weekend game in Saskatchewan. 8 players had their vehicles vandalized while parked at the university's outdoor soccer field. John Moore, a parent of one of the players, is concerned no one was made aware that the vehicles had been damaged. He wants increased security at the school.
They did say they knew about it, and all they did was put a piece of paper on their window saying the incident report.
A statement from the University of Manitoba to CTV News says its security services responded, and people were also encouraged to report the incident to Winnipeg Police and their insurer. It says the investigation is now with Winnipeg Police. Fort White Alive's newly opened Buffalo Crossing isn't just exciting Winnipeggers, it's turning heads all around the world. Buffalo Crossing has been recognized with an award from the Switzerland-based Wholesome Foundation. The project, designed by Stantec Architecture, was recognized as an outstanding example of sustainable construction and design.
It's unbelievable. Like, it's really exciting, and we're just thrilled. Like, to be one of 20 projects in the world that have received an award is absolutely fantastic for Winnipeg and for Manitoba. It's a real accomplishment for us.
The award will be presented in Venice, Italy on November 20th.
'Cause you need to know they don't call for me to go.
A rising country music star is coming to Winnipeg. We'll have more on that coming up in the Spotlight.
I got no choice but to be gone a while.
It's spooky season, and we're looking for a Halloween house to feature on CTV Your Morning Winnipeg. If you think yours fits the bill, you could win a $500 gift card from St. Mary's Nursery and Garden Center and have the chance to show off your Halloween house live on Your Morning Winnipeg on October 31st with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures.
Spotlight sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Serena Ryder, the Merry Myths Tour.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and we begin today with some exciting news for country music fans in our city.
That's right, Marilee. Charlie Crockett, a rising star in the country music world, is coming to perform in our city.
I'm taking me a midnight run.
Charlie Crockett is a former street busker who has grown into a Grammy Award-nominated star, and his music is resonating with fans around the world. His songs have had hundreds of millions of streams, and he recently played the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles. Now he's going on a major tour across Canada. He'll be performing in Vancouver, Toronto, and here in Winnipeg on February 26th at the Burton Cummings Theatre. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 through livenation.com.
All right, that's where I'll be at my computer trying to get tickets
No
on Friday.
kidding.
Huge fan of his.
Yeah.
Now to some other big names. Nominees in the Songwriters Hall of Fame are out.
Yeah, you've probably heard of these guys, Marilee. They include a popular hit maker, a Canadian singer-songwriter, and even some Manitoba musicians. Taylor Swift.
I might have heard of her once or twice before.
I think she's going to do pretty well. Big things for her career, I think. I mean, you know, but if you haven't heard of her, her name is Taylor Swift, and she is on the ballot for the 2026 class. She's on the ballot with Kenny Loggins, LL Cool J, Pink, as well as Canadian Sarah McLachlan, who was just in Winnipeg the other night, and Winnipeg's Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings of the Guess Who are returning nominees. The Songwriters Hall of Fame was established in 1969 to honor those creating popular music. Members have until December 4th to vote for up to 3 nominees in each of 2 categories.
I wouldn't want to be up against Taylor Swift.
I know, yeah. No matter how long you've been in the business.
Yeah, who's going to vote no against her?
Pretty formidable, yeah.
I guess we'll find out. Customers at a Winnipeg bakery were treated to some amazing sensations today.
That's right. The incredible smell of freshly baked bread. So, it's just thinking about it's hard to say. Baked bread and the heavenly sounds of cello music. Bakery and Eatery doesn't always have live cello music. This was a special pop-up performance, one of several that happened at random locations around our city. It's part of the kickoff to the 25th anniversary of the International Cello Festival of Canada taking place in Winnipeg.
I just really love the nice warm tone, and it has a deeper tone too. It really touches your heart and your soul. That's why I want to learn how to play cello, because I like to touch people with the music that I play.
Look at that freshly baked bread, Marilee. There, I can say it after all. You can discover the cello while the festival runs through to November 1st. For information and tickets, visit agassiefestival.com.
Pretty cool.
It is.
All right, thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Your primetime lineup starts at 7 with MasterChef Canada. The Traders Canada follows at 8 at High Potential. It's next at 9, all right here tonight on CTV. Dry out there now after the rain yesterday. A live look at Portage Avenue west of Polo Park. Traffic moving well there. 9 degrees in the city. We'll take a look at how much of that rain came down coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon. CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Colleen Brady back now to tell us more about just how much rain fell over the past little while.
It was pretty wild depending on where you were. If you were in the southeast, that was the area that got soaked. Now, this is really just a snapshot. Environment Canada listed many more communities that were absolutely soaked, but Zota, Gardenton, Piney, Mendocino, and Marchand in the southeast all got the heaviest amounts. Now, Winnipeg, anywhere from 23.4 millimeters to 33 here in the city, but I tried to pick the other areas just to show you the real range and rainfall amounts across the rest of southern Manitoba. As you get into the southwest, you can see that's where lesser amounts fell. Minnedosa, 8.1, and in Brandon didn't see all that much either. By contrast, sort of in between the two, the Interlake got a fair amount as well, but it really was quite the range. Where did that rain go? Well, it went east into northwestern Ontario, just at the northern edge. It was really a trough of low pressure that tripped off all the rain on our side of the international border. The center of that low is further south, and a lot of rain continues to fall in the U.S. with this system. It will continue to chug along, but as I mentioned, it's a very slow-moving system. It's really being held up by that high pressure further off to the east. But in behind, back in Manitoba, the sky will clear out across the southern half of the province, a little less so across the north, but more so in the northwest into tomorrow morning. We'll watch for fog developing overnight across parts of the province, including Winnipeg. Sunshine throughout the day here tomorrow. Cloudy skies across much of the north, but dry. That will likely change with the approach of the next low pressure system that will bring different kinds of precipitation into the province starting on Thursday. Now, I want to take a quick trip back down to Jamaica just to show you what a difference a day makes. That hurricane was just south of Jamaica. You can't even see it, can you? It's right over top of the country, so I've circled it here. There's Kingston, Jamaica, Montego Bay, just enveloped by that now Category 4 storm as it just pummels, unfortunately, that beautiful country. Tonight for Winnipeg, down to -2, mostly clear, but again, watch for fog developing overnight. Winds light out of the west at 10 kilometers an hour. West winds tomorrow morning, south winds in the afternoon, but light all day long. Abundant sunshine, a high of 8 degrees. Into the long range we go, clouding over on Thursday with a low chance of showers, 5 degrees. degrees, 5 and cloudy for ghosts and goblins trick-or-treating. So the scene is set. There's a slight chance of showers, a little bit of a better chance of showers Saturday, although still low, cloudy otherwise in 5, cloudy once again on Sunday with a slight chance of showers and 9 degrees, mix of sun and cloud Monday with a high near 7. To our weather photos we go, shall we? This first one takes us out to Selkirk Park. That photo is from Karina. A lovely look there out onto the water with that setting sun. And we're heading out to Silver Beach. Now this is right near Riding Mountain National Park. That lovely photo was taken by Susan. Send us your photos to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The CTV Skywatch Pick of the Day is brought to you by the Manitoba Chiropractors Association. We've got your back.
The flying season has landed for the Winnipeg Gliding Club out by Starbuck, but not before one of its members set not 1, not 2, but 5 records.
These were some of the best flights ever in my over 50 years of flying. And as it turned out, I set some records. I wasn't really aware that I was setting records, but Mike Maskell approached me one day. He says, hey, you broke a Manitoba record. And I go, really?
That's Tom Weir from Thunder Bay, Ontario, who flies with the Winnipeg Gliding Club. After spontaneously breaking that first record, Weir set his sights on breaking others and now holds 5 new Manitoba records. Among them are for the fastest speed around a 500-kilometer triangle and fastest 100-kilometer flight in a straight line. Some of the records date back to the 70s and 80s.
Those were in gliders that didn't have the performance specifications that we have now. Back then, a high-performance glider might be in the 30 to 1 glide ratio range. Now they're into the early 40s, 42, 43 to 1, which means if you had 1 mile of altitude, in theory, you could glide 42 miles. So it's, again, the technology and the advancements in construction of the gliders.
Club President Mike Maskell says he expects more records will be broken next season, which kicks off as soon as conditions allow in the spring. I've actually had a chance to fly with the club in a glider years ago as part of a story. Very cool experience.
Sure be lots of
especially
fun.
the landing. But congratulations to Tom.
Great job.
Pretty remarkable. Can't wait to see what you guys do next year.
That's right.
All right, we'll be back at 6 o'clock with more news. Hope to see you then.